We welcome in head coach Josh McDaniels. And coach, first, congratulations on your first win as the head coach. Take me back into the locker room, the celebration and the game ball.
Yeah, that was, I think it was a great moment for our team, and I appreciate Derek, handing me the ball. But, we've put a lot of work into this. And if I've learned anything over many years, it's that the players win games. And our guys definitely came through at the end and played a full 60-minute game, which we've been talking about doing. We'd struggled to maybe put together 60 minutes in the first 3 weeks, but I thought they really competed hard, played the right way at the end of the game to earn the victory, and then we were able to celebrate it together afterward.
Parham and Mumford, two rookie offensive linemen. Looking back at the tape, how well did they do?
Yeah, Dylan's really done a good job, playing multiple positions the entire time he's been here. I mean, he's played from left guard to right guard and center. And mentally that's taxing on a young player, but he's really done a great job of studying and being prepared. Played physical, hard, did his job well in the game. Munford, again, we're kind of trying to, continue to rotate those two guys a little bit there just to, I think, one, they've both earned it with the way that they've practiced, and two, it takes a little pressure off, the young guy when he's not in there. He can kind of gauge what's happening on the field. But I thought both of them, really represented themselves well. Both of them are on the field in the big drive at the end of the game. So, I thought that was important for us.
Zamir White and Divine Diablo, let's stay with the young players and their progression and what you're seeing from them.
Yeah, Zamir practices, really hard every week. He's behind a good player, and he knows that. And so, but he was ready to go right when his number was called towards the end of the game. We had some little big play in the game, and we didn't hesitate to call that with him. He hadn't had a lot of carries at that point, but his time is coming. You know what I mean? And JJ has been such a bell cow and a workhorse. He doesn't really want to come off the field, and I'm fine with that. When you got a good player at that position and he's kind of rolling, it seems like Josh really kind of picks up steam as the game goes on. But as we know, running backs, they take a little bit of a pounding over the course of the season. Zamir's time will come, and he'll be ready when it is. And Diablo, he just...
Getting a lot of reps.
Yeah, he never comes off the field, in practice either. So he's becoming a really, really good communicator, wearing the green dot on the helmet, making the calls, has to communicate to everybody in front of him, behind him, along with the linebacking core. Really becoming a versatile player, physical in the running game, can cover, doing a lot of things for us to help us win.
We sat here last week and you talked about Josh getting to Nashville on his own, and he was ill and how hard he played for this team. And then he comes back and puts up numbers like that. And I want to talk about how he ran inside and what were those hits like when he took those blows and he was able to extend the play.
Yeah, he loves football. And so it doesn't surprise me that he's been able to do what he's been able to do the last few weeks here. He's a tough inside runner. He's got really good vision. A lot of times when you run inside, guys can take some big pops. Josh rarely does that. Because he can avoid it at the last second. And then he's usually the one delivering the blow at the end of the play. So runs with a great run style. Pads are forward, ball's secure, and he's always gaining an extra yard or two at the end of the play.
One more about the victory. Derek ran with a purpose. I thought that was fantastic. 7 carries in that game, but big ones, and especially take me through the end of the first half, how you set up the field goal and that big run for him.
Yeah, he had 5 first downs rushing, which is rare. I don't know that I've ever been a part of a game like that. Maybe Cam Newton, but I mean it's a rarity. And I think he had a great mindset in the game, and he kind of had the mindset like, I'm not going to let this go the other way today, and so look, when they're double teaming a couple of our receivers or tight ends, which is what people seem to be doing now, then he becomes the 6th skill player. And there's nobody that has him in coverage, if you will. So once the rush goes by him, he saw the lanes there and made some really good decisions. Then I thought the big play at the end of the second quarter to extend it, not just to slide, broke a tackle, made another 12 or 13 yards there, put us in really good field position for Daniel. So he had a great mindset about him. I don't want him to take a bunch of hits, which he didn't, but he made a lot of yards with his legs.
All right, let's move on to Kansas City, the #1 rushing defense. What have you seen with that? We normally don't say that about the Chiefs.
No, there's not many teams that have had the ability to run the ball. I think they've only played 40-some runs in 4 games, which if you only play 10 or 12 runs a game, then you're probably going to, rank pretty highly in rushing defense. And so that goes back to we have to play a complementary game. We have to somehow, some way get control of the game, which means we have to play well early. they've had a couple games where they've been up 20 points in the second quarter, and then the game becomes really a passing game, for the offense. So we can't allow that to happen. We got to be ready to go right from the opening kickoff, and we have to jump in. We're not dipping our toe in the water. Try to gain some control of the game, some control of the line of scrimmage, and then force them to play both our run game and our pass game as we go throughout the course of the game.
As I looked at your press conference from earlier this week, you talked about the eye candy plays, and I talked misdirection. I've sat in this seat a long time, and you come in, you prep for this team, and they run a play one way, and then it comes back the other way, and either no one's home or that person has to make a great play. What have you seen with Kansas City this year without Tyreek Hill and how they're doing that?
Just spicing it up differently. They got a lot of different players that, there may not be the one guy like Tyreek was, but I think they all can make plays. They still have really good speed in their skill positions. Kelce is obviously a focal point of everything that they do in the passing game, and their backs are doing a very good job of making yards with the ball in their hands. So they run with the ball after the catch. Tackling them is an issue, and Andy does such a special job of trying to get you to see one thing, and then here comes something else. So this will be one of the ultimate do-your-job games for our defense. Stay disciplined, take care of your assignment. You can't worry about what's going on the other side of the field anyway. So make sure that we stay at home and we're detailed with our assignments. And then, when they get the ball, we got to put them on the ground.
So I've been dying to ask you about Kelce because you had Gronk for all those years. So you have guys trying to game plan him, hit him at the line of scrimmage, a free release, a safety over the top. With Kelce, what a career. And similar to Gronk, what you had in New England.
Yeah, he's really a unique player in our league. He can make plays down the field, and he can do that stuff where he stretches the defense and creates touchdowns and those types of things. But he's also got great short space quickness. And so whether it's a drive starter play to get him going on a first down, or it's a 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4 where he has a matchup where he's going to use his quickness to create some separation, or in the red zone. He scored a touchdown last week where he did a great job of he had a linebacker one-on-one coverage and he got him. So he's kind of a combo big tight end and slot receiver, if you will. And so there's a lot of people that are going to have some eyeballs on him on Monday night.
I want to wrap this up with your tradition of Monday Night Football. We talked about your youth in Canton, Ohio, your dad playing college football with Dave. I can't imagine, Coach, when you were a kid looking up and seeing the Raiders when they were always on Monday night and dominating Monday Night Football. This is a big tradition in this building.
Yeah, no question. This is our first opportunity here to experience this. But I know it's important to this organization. I know it's important to Mr. Davis. I remember I have fond memories of seeing the Raiders play on Monday night when I was growing up. I'm very little, trying to stay up past my bedtime to see it happen. But no, this is a rivalry game. It's a division game. It's a road game in the division. We know where we are. We know what we need to try to do and accomplish this week. It's a very difficult opponent. Our guys are hard at work preparing for them, and we're excited for the opportunity and the challenge.
Last one, Andy Reid, the respect you had. You talked about Coach Kingsbury. You talked about what we saw with Mike Vrabel in the past. What do you think of this coach and your relationship?
Yeah, I know Andy, decent, but I have a great affinity for him from afar. I've always studied what he's done. I've always admired him as a person. He always has handled his team with class. He's very, gracious at the podium, win or lose, doesn't make any difference. He does it the right way. His team plays the way he wants them to play. They play with great physicality and effort. They're always well prepared, and he does so many things that you want to copy, and you'd love to have the opportunity to say, hey, why did you do it this way? And, but you spend most of your time trying to figure it out. But he's very creative, very innovative with the things that he does. As a guy who's been doing it for 24, 25 years now as a head coach, he's still pressing the envelope in terms of what they do, and just so impressed with him. Excited for the challenge, looking forward to it.
Good luck Monday night, Coach.
Thank you very much.